Looks like we may have a fight on our hands. Hey there, it's Dr. G, your internal medicine physician, lifestyle modification coach, and patient educator. This is part 2 of the series of GLP-1 agonist medications are in danger. And this one is big. When I posted the first part 1, I was watching a bit of news that happened a couple days prior to posting the video. And I wanted to make sure and see what was going to happen. And thankfully, what I wanted to happen has happened. The compound pharmacies who are now being forced to stop producing semaglutide and tirzepatide, the compounded forms of Wegovy and ZEPBOUND, respectively, have banded together and used one of their associations. I'm going to look at one of the articles that I've been looking at, the Outsourcing Facilities Association, which is basically, everyone has an association. You have your, doctors associations, lawyers associations, and at every level, national level, the state level, federal level. You have in local levels, in your town, in your county, all those different levels. You can find an association in whatever profession that you're in. And do not underestimate the fact that compound pharmacies, which are smaller, they're not big box pharmacies like your major brands like Walgreens or CVS or Walmart. But yeah, they've banded together in this Outsourcing Facilities Association, and they brought a lawsuit to the FDA because they feel as though the processes that are set by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which is where the FDA is under, didn't follow their processes. Basically, Novo Nordisk went to them and said, "Hey, Tirzepatide is no longer in shortage. Take it off the list." And the FDA said, "Sure, we believe you. We're taking it off the list." And the compound pharmacies are saying, "Yeah, how did you verify this? You were interrupting care for many people. You're interrupting the way business as usual is being done." And we talked about in the effects of interruption of care for patients across the board for all types of medications when this happens, where things like this happen. It's not just when the compounding pharmacies are making the medications, but in general. When there's a problem in a facility somewhere, or when they can't get the medications to the big box pharmacies on time, patients have interruptions of care. And interruption of care will lead to, I won't say poorer outcomes, but unsteady and inconsistent outcomes for sure. Doctors and patients do not want interruptions of care. So yeah, this is huge, right? So Tirzepatide in the form of the compounded form has been, FDA has said, okay, stop. You want to sue us for this? We'll go back. We will hold off and keep this on the list for now while we take a look at this. And we actually go to Novo Nordisk and actually check their homework to make sure that, the product or the drug is actually not in shortage. Wow, that makes a lot of sense to actually see if the pharmaceutical company or the manufacturer actually does have a robust supply of the medications before you take it off of the shortage list and take it away from the compound pharmacies, thus taking it away from doctors' ability to provide the care and the patients actually ultimately getting the medications that they need in order to lose weight. And of course, there are some patients out there who are actually using compound medications of tirzepatide and semaglutide for their diabetes because they don't have coverage, or they don't have the prices of copays are maybe too high, or whatever the reason is. They are on these medications for either obesity, chronic obesity, or for diabetes. And as we've said before, and we already know, obesity drives diabetes a lot of the time. So maybe, the obesity patients are also pre-diabetic or already diabetic, don't have any coverage, can't get any coverage, don't have access because it's not available, even though they do have coverage, are getting inconsistent and up and down medications, and therefore up and downs in their care and their outcomes So they prefer to go to the compound pharmacies, pay a lot less, and get it on a regular basis. So you are interrupting, they are essentially interrupting care. Talked about it in part one, that even now, when I write these prescriptions and send them electronically to our different pharmacies, doesn't guarantee that they're going to be able to pick it up. And if they do pick it up, they can patients can pick it up this week or tomorrow or whatever, whenever it's ready. Doesn't mean in 2 or 3 months when it's time for a refill that there won't be a period of time, could be a week, could be a month, could be 2 months before they get their next refill. It has happened over and over and over again since these medications have been on the shortage list, which is since 2021, 2022. So yeah, this is huge news that they're fighting, that this Outsourcing Facilities Association, which is a Texas-based trade association focused on distributing compounded medications throughout the healthcare industry, has brought lawsuit to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, which basically polices all the medications, the approved medications in the United States. So this is big, right? This is exactly when they say the revolution will be televised. This is it, right? Again, I think this is happening because obesity is such a prevalent, it's so common. It's so common in the United States. 40% for people who are obese in the United States, and 70% are either obese and or overweight. 70% are, put those groups together, obese or overweight, 70% in the United States. So yeah, I'm happy to see this. I wanted to see what was going to happen. The lawsuit came in on I believe it was the 8th, the 7th of October, and it's been, slowly making its way to see what the response is. I wanted to see what the response would be from the FDA, and they did the right thing. They said, okay, you're right. We didn't do, our due diligence to go back to Novo Nordisk and actually run through and see, okay, show us where you have everything ready to go. Show us where the supply is there in the community already, so we can remove this from the shortage list, and then you can then start applying pressure to compound pharmacies as the law allows for you to apply pressure when medications are no longer on the shortage list. But as it is written right now, it is still in shortage. We haven't verified, so we're going to go back and do our homework and see what's going on, because we're getting sued by the compounded pharmacies. They're saying, we don't know. Show us where we'll stop providing this good service for the community when you can show us that it's truly, really and truly no longer in shortage. This is exactly the type of movement that the healthcare community in general, healthcare needs. Because if this applies to these weight loss medications, it will apply to other medications. And if more and more of us are paying attention to how these medications are, 1, developed, 2, marketed, 3, priced, 4, reach your formulary, 5, are kept in supply, and you can then figure out what your prices are, I think you are going to be surprised. A lot of people are waking up to the reality of why our medications are so expensive in the United States. These, if you pay attention, when I was younger, one of the worst things that I could see on TV was C-SPAN. No one wants to see C-SPAN. It's just a bunch of old people talking about stuff. There's no action there. There's no cartoons. There's no, I used to like karate movies when I was a kid. There's nothing. There's no points. There's no scoring. It's just droning on of talking. But as you get older, I guess I'm an old man now. When you get older, you pay more attention to these things. And I pay a lot of attention to how these hearings go when they're the Committee of Healthcare Oversight is one of the ones that I really, in the Senate, is one that I really do pay attention to. And in the last couple of weeks, the CEO of Novo Nordisk was called to the table to talk about this situation. And in the last couple months, we've seen the CEOs of pharmacy benefits management companies also called to the carpet to talk about profits, how medications are priced, rebates, how the medications get on the formulary, the legal, and all of this is absolutely legal. They're not doing anything illegal, but you know, they are really, really pushing the limits as to how our medications are priced here in the United States. For instance, Wegovy is here in the United States versus the United Kingdom. Wegovy is I believe it's 13,000% more. Costs 13,000% more per month here versus the UK. We're talking like $56 a month in the United Kingdom versus, you know, $1,300 a month here in the US. $56 a month in the UK, $1,300 in it's crazy. It's insane. Why? But it's legal. It's absolutely legal. They're not doing anything illegal. No one's going to jail, right? No one is doing anything under the table. This is absolutely legal. And the reason being that we allow pricing here in the United States to be done by the market, whatever the market will bear. As much as the market will bear is what the prices can be. And then there's some interplay as to what the real pricing is because, you know, in order for these pharmaceutical companies to play in this pool that we have here in the United States, we have this system of pharmacy benefits managers, which sits between the insurance and the actual, which negotiates between the insurance companies and the actual pharmaceutical companies to offer these medications to the people who are sitting and paying their premiums for the insurance. It's very convoluted. It's a lot simpler in other countries, which brings down the price, in my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of experts that know a lot more about how this works than me. So I think as more of you, the consumer, the regular everyday consumer patients, Americans understand exactly how this works, you're going to be peed off. You're not going to be happy when you understand why is it that this medication is $1,300, talking about semaglutide here, and you probably didn't even know it was that cheap in the UK and other countries. You know, other countries are just as cheap or just as inexpensive. Now they are feeling some, you know, supply chain issues. That's everywhere. So yeah, we have folks that are on the comment section here saying, you know, they can't get it in Australia, having problems getting it in Germany, having problems in getting it in different countries as well. So the supply chain issues have not been miraculously fixed for tirzepatide here in the United States, and you know, we're going to get it right now. So I think it was a premature action by the FDA, and I'm good on the compound pharmacies for fighting this the removal of the medications off of the shortage list before the actual work was done by the FDA to check the homework of the company Novo Nordisk in this example, or in this case, that is providing tirzepatide, which is MOUNJARO for the diabetes and ZEPBOUND for obesity. You guys stay tuned. This is not over, but this gives us a little bit of time. As doctors and patients, we have a little bit of time, not a lot. Can't stand pat because they are eventually going to get the supply chain issue together. This medication will not stay on the compounded, the shortage list for the FDA forever. It's not going to, you know, this is, the time has been ticking, the clock has been ticking since it got on the list, because trust me, Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, respectively, Novo Nordisk for tirzepatide, MOUNJARO/ZEPBOUND, and Eli Lilly for a semaglutide, which is Wegovy and Ozempic. Respect, both of those guys they understand, both of those companies and their shareholders understand that money is, they're hemorrhaging. Yeah, they're losing cash, right? Because they're not putting the money, they're making, let's not, you know, not too much. I'm not going to sit here and cry. We're not crying for them. They're making billions of dollars regardless, but they want to make more. And they're, you know, the shareholders like, hey, we want to get these compounded pharmacies off of our backs. They're making money off of our med. We could make that money. That could be part of our bottom line. Let's get it together. What's up with the supply chain? Get it together. So they are working on this. So that means if you are on compounded compounded medications, semaglutide, tirzepatide, and you need it for your either your diabetes or for your weight loss journey, we need to make plans. You need to, especially for the weight loss, you need to make plans. For the diabetes, you will get coverage if, you know, many more Americans will get coverage for diabetes than they will immediately for weight loss. There is a lot of movement out here. There's a Colorado tried in this past year to get a bill to get private insurances, to mandate private insurances in Colorado to force them to cover weight loss medications. If you didn't know, not every single plan in every single state covers weight loss. I mean, you're learning that now, and that's why we're where we're at. But it's not just a supply chain problem for everyone. Many people, even if the supply was robust and every pharmacy had tons and tons of these medications, do not have coverage on their plan for weight loss. That's a reality. You didn't know that because, you know, we don't know much about our plans, who studies their plans. This is another wake-up call for you to actually take the time to go over your plan. If you don't know much about your plans or choosing a plan, I suggest you use either an agent or a broker, someone you trust in your, you know, family or friends, or someone that can refer you to someone that you trust to go over your plan and pick the one that applies to your two things. One, your doctor accepts, of course, don't want you to leave me. And two, one that covers the medications that you require based off of your issues, your diagnoses, the meds you're already on and that you're comfortable on, been on for a while, and have you controlled. You don't want to move to another plan where all of a sudden, we don't cover ZEPBOUND, or we don't cover weight loss at all on any of our plans, but you're stuck with us. Bad. So lots to cover here. We got part 3 coming. We're going to start to set up how I would go about making sure that if I was on a compounded medication for weight loss or diabetes, what would I do? What are the things that I would do to make sure, or to get ready for what is inevitably going to happen, which is these medications will eventually come off of the shortage list. There's no way. They're going to stay on there forever, right? These people, you know, they've done their research and, you know, and their R&D on this stuff, research and development, and, you know, they want their money back. And on that, you know, there's a lot of money to be made the way the system is built. Ultimately, I hope that we can get to a place where the government can help us, if not negotiate prices for Medicare themselves, which will bring down prices tremendously, change the way the laws are built. Maybe mandate some things with the pharmacy benefits managers, some things they can and can't do. I mean, we have CEOs of these pharmacy benefit managers making $21 million for one, $26 million for the other one. This is with base salary and then bonuses and incentives. $26 million a year for a CEO of a pharmacy benefits manager whose only job is to negotiate with pharmaceutical manufacturers pricing for the insurance companies to then put these medications on their formulary. That's their job, literally. And they say they're doing a public service. So anyhow, that's a story for another day. Next video is going to be the action plan. What I would do in order to get myself ready for what's going to happen with the compounded medications, the GLP-1 agonists, which are definitely in danger, but they have a stay, right? They're not, you know, they're not imminently going to the electric chair right now. They're gonna have a stay, which is good. We're good. No execution yet. We're gonna continue to get the benefits from the compound pharmacies. If you like the information that you're getting on the channel, please like and subscribe, share with anyone you like. And also, in the description below, you have the chance to get all types of goodies from me. We have a TDEE calculator there. You can go ahead and jump on that. If you need a lifestyle modification coaching section directly with me, you can go ahead and book there or call the office directly. We have all kinds of goodies down there. Also, we have a link for a meal plan service. Trifecta is the meal plan service that we're using here. I'm using here in the office, and you can get 40% off on your first meal order using the coupon code DrGLP1 at checkout. And with that, stay safe, stay informed. See you soon.